Hey y'all, welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today we're gonna do the end of year book tag. Now, this book tag was created by Ariel Bassett many years ago, and so I don't know if I can find the original, but if I can, I'll drop it down below. This has a series of questions, and I did add one of my own. The first question being, is there any books that you started this year that you do need to finish? Now, I only have one book that is like a DNF, but I don't really know if I'm going to come back to it. And that's going to be Credence by Penelope Douglas. I really wanted to know what the hype was. I got about 20 to 30% in. And I was like, I'm bored. And I don't know if I want to give it more time. I understand the premise. Some people love it. Some people don't like it. We'll see if I feel like getting back into this. It's definitely giving fall vibes with the cover and the ambience. So if there was any time to do it, it would be now. I'm just not feeling it right now. However, speaking about fall, the next question is there an autumnal book that you have that transitions you into the end of year reading? Now, I've got two. The first being Perfect for Fall Vibes, which I've already read. Now, these two I've already read. First one was What a Match by Mimi Grace. 5-star book for me. Possibly on my top books of the year. This one is giving that fall vibes. Look at the leaves. Look at the colors. Beautiful edition. This is the illustration is done by Lena Kaufman. Just gives me autumnal vibes. This is best friend's brother. A little bit of an older woman. Very he falls first. This is I've always loved you and I'm just waiting for you to see me. Forced proximity goodness. Very, very fall vibes. Another thing from an autumnal book is as it starts to get cooler, I start to look to expand outside of romance. It's still going to have a romantic element. This year I decided to fall into romanticy, and A Unique Space for Us by Chantel Monique definitely was one of the books that I had on my 5-star predictions for the year that I was like, this would be a perfect transition into fall. Gives me that romantic element, but also gives me fantasy vibes, which again has some paranormal elements to it. Felt like this was going to be a great transition, and it absolutely was. Are there any new releases that I am waiting on? I do plan on reading Church Girl by Naima Simone. This would be the second book that I read from her this year. Covers just eat. It is good girl, bad boy. It is a church girl with a tattoo artist. She runs away, falls in love, and it is their romance of figuring out, how they're going to work together when they're from two different worlds. So I am very interested in reading this, and this comes out in November. So right around the corner, and I do have an art copy for it. What are the 3 books that I need to read before the end of the year? Now, please someone hold me to it. I plan on finishing some series, and one of the series that I absolutely need to finish is going to be the Rise and Fall series. So this is the 3rd book, but the final book that I have to read because I read this completely out of order. This is the sequel of Asen and Harlow's book. So this is the beginning of Forever. This really much wraps up their love story and culminates with them in the friend group getting married, having their happily ever after, or will they? This is definitely one that I need to read sooner rather than later. Another series I need to continue on is checking in with my homegirl Amari. And so I'm going to be reading Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the 3rd in the series, and I just need to know what the kids are up to. Like, I need to know if they're all good. Is it still chaos? How can I help? What's next on the adventure? And I'm hearing this one has a pretty big cliffhanger, which I'm a little bit nervous about, but I'm going to read it. Cousin BB hasn't let me down. I haven't heard too many people talk about this, but if I love it, you best believe I'm going to promote it. And then the last book in a series that I need to read is going to be City of Salvations by Marie Maravilla. This one is the 3rd in the Skeletons of Society series. I did start this last month, and I'm already at the final book. I am hopeful that I love this. This one is a bodyguard romance. I'm already familiar with the characters in this series, and I've been loving the audiobooks. So this is a special edition. I think this is dark and quirky, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And this is what I need to do to get this series off of my list. And so that is one that I'll be reading at the end of the year. Is there a book that I believe will still have a chance to become my favorite? And I have two. Both of these were in my 5-star predictions video, which I do want to finish up for the month of December. So my two options that I think could become one of my favorites of the year. I'm not going to say my favorite because I know what my favorite is, but could be on my top 10 would either be Ali Martinez from The Embers. I am just waiting for an emotional read, and this may be the one that I need. This one, again, is something that I have a prediction on because this one has two characters that were in marriages. Both of their spouses died in the fire. The male main character of this saved the female main character, thinking it was his wife. And now they have to, go on without their significant others, raise their children, and ultimately fall in love. And so this sounds like something that I would absolutely love. I've heard really great things on this, so I'm hopeful that it will be a 5-star. And if not this one, I'm definitely thinking Candy Steiner's A Love Letter to Whiskey is going to be a fave of mine. This is also on my 5-star prediction. I'm looking for something a little bit angsty that has the will they, won't they. I love that It's Always Been You, just not the right time. And this would be my first Candy Steiner read, and I think this one is going to be really great for me to read. So one of these will probably be on my top 10 or so, I think. The question that I decided to add, is there a video that you would like to film before the end of the year? So I have a number of videos. The one that I've been trying to read and complete is going to be Stephanie Nicole Norris's In the Heart of a Valentine series. I actually have binged this entire series. There is a book with 6 brothers. Each one of them gets their romance. They're very quick, very short. I just haven't been able to sit down and film it. And I think that this series deserves to be recognized. So hopefully you will see this video before the end of the year. If you don't, type in the comments and let me know, hey, first thing that I need to do in January. And then lastly, talking about next year, are there any plans that I have for 2025? I do have a couple of plans. One video that I want to read is reading authors in regards to the Black Book Romance Festival that I will be attending in May. So I want to knock down some authors that I have never read before so that I can make sure that as I meet them, I am talking about some of their work. And then another thing is I want to be able to read down my shelves. I had a goal for 50% of my TBR, my physical TBR read down, and I don't think I'm going to meet that this year. So that just means it goes on the list for next year. If you have a series that you want to finish by the end of the year, please let me know down below. Or you could leave me a fire emoji from The Embers, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.